That candidate is my friend and a great American, Joe Biden.
Bloomberg did spend over $500 million of his own money in his campaign. This is USA Radio News.
Now you can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
800-215-5141. 800-215-5141. That's 800-215-5141.
Votes are still being counted this day after Super Tuesday, with the majority of delegates going to former Vice President Joe Biden and Vermont Senator Bernie Sanders. Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren is still in the race, although she's trailing both Sanders and Biden by a large margin. When it comes to the choice between Democrats and President Trump, Trump 2020 spokesman Laura Trump says,
it seems like if you're a Democrat in this country, your choice right now looks to be a socialist who is a communist sympathizer, or Joe Biden, who I think a lot of folks legitimately, Ed, question his cognitive function in many cases.
What do you mean by that? Because that keeps coming up.
Well,
and the Biden campaign undoubtedly is going to push back and say you're suggesting something. What?
Listen,
health-wise?
I'm supposed to be rooting against Joe Biden, and every time he takes the stage, I feel nervous that he's not going to be able to coherently string a sentence together. And if I feel that way, I think Democrat voters out there probably feel very nervous about him. Who would be running the country if this individual really is not showing that he's functioning with all gears moving here? I mean, I think it's fair to call that out and ask what's going on. He forgets what state he's in. He called it Super Thursday.
Laura Trump speaking there on Fox News. Mortgage applications jumped more than 15% last week as refinancing applications skyrocketed and interest rates went down. For USA Radio News, I'm Tim Berg.
The following is an America Matters media production. The views expressed do not necessarily represent those of the station or its advertisers, although we think they should. But that's the opinion of America Matters Media.
It is About Town Deb, and today, is that static here? Are we good?
I think you're good. Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, hey guys, About Town Deb McCarthy. I am actually about town. I'm not in your town. I'm all the way in Southern California, Mandalay Bay at the Lookout Bar and Grill. So Karen, come on over here. You can't be in Southern California. Come on, Karen. She's going to put her earbud in.
Hi, guys.
So,
for you, my dear.
Come here, Karen. So
you got a margarita.
I got a margarita. So this is Karen, and we're at the Lookout Bar.
Lookout Bar and Grill in Islands Harbor.
And Britton Griffith is co-hosting on set for me.
Hello. Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Well, you're going to be here. She's right there. See that? She's right there. Now you can see her. So she's a rock star in Reno and everywhere. A native Nevadan. She's like, I mean, her family's been there forever. She knows everybody. She has the hugest heart in the whole state of Nevada. So that's why she's there holding down the fort.
Holding down the fort for you.
I can't trust anybody but her. So how are you?
That's scary.
You're not scared. So just to get all the little butterflies out, as About Town Deb, I'll always say like kind of what I'm doing. But Karen, I want you to tell, because we chatted yesterday and we went out voting and kind of seeing where we wanted to end up for the show. And you actually live on a boat? And so, like, do you swim over here in the morning? What do you do?
Wouldn't that be nice?
Tell us a little bit about what you do.
We don't have showers.
What?
No.
What? Is there a shower on your boat?
No. Of course there is.
I don't know.
Not be silly.
I don't know.
Come on, I've got everything. It's all good.
Tell us about boat life.
It's beautiful. It's awesome. I've been doing it for 8 years. I'm thinking I might do another 8 just to see if I like it.
No, I was serious. I asked her. I said, well, how do you get to work? You swim? You put on a wetsuit?
I got that nice 3.5-minute commute walking.
Yeah.
And if I'm late, I have to jog.
Oh, that's not a big deal. So what is your favorite part about living on a boat in this lifestyle, beautiful
It's absolutely fun and crazy. People are awesome down here. It's a lot of vacationers come down, which is really cool. A lot of weekend boaters come down, which is awesome too. And it's just a nice place to be. And I mean, come on, Southern California, you get the delightful weather all the time. It's nice. This is why we pay the big bucks.
So what is your favorite month of the year here? Is it all perfect, or do you have like, especially at the restaurant here too?
Right. But summertime is awesome, because the weather's not super, super hot yet, until like August, September, October, then it gets hot. But yeah, so about June, July, it's pretty much that's my favorite time.
Is it like a hot spot for young single girls or medium-aged single girls around here? I have one more night here,
There's a couple of places down the street. The Waterside, nice little wine bar.
We're gonna go there later,
right? They've got live music pretty much on the regular over there.
And you guys have music tonight too. So what's happening tonight?
We've got open mic night tonight. So it basically ends up being a plus garage band that comes in. Everybody brings their instruments. A guy comes in with his amps and a microphone. If you want to sing, if you want to play, whatever it is that you're doing. And it's awesome. Sometimes
I might sing tonight.
Sometimes we get, it just depends on who wants to come in and do it. It just ends up being an awesome thing.
Well, you're amazing. And thank you for the great service we had yesterday.
You're very welcome.
I will chat with Skinny Margarita. That's what we have. And we love you. I'm going to get back to the show.
Get back to your show.
And I'll let you give the earbud to Georgia. So, hey, guys.
Nice to meet you again, hon.
Okay. So, guys, I'm telling you, cheers. I just love doing this. So, I am traveling with Jazzy, Georgia. We kind of had a little sad reason why we were in California or there. My father-in-law, Grandpa Jack, he's up in heaven. So we helped plan his service. So it was great. And it was wonderful and amazing. And while we were there, we got to go to some old stomping grounds, which is Martino's Bakery. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Burbank, but there's Dino's Pizza, Martino's Bakery, and Santoro sub sandwiches. So I tried at some of my local, junior high school hot spots where we went. So it was amazing. And then we also went, while we were here, my friend Linda from Junior High Plus, she had us over for tacos, and Tony joined us. So, anytime I'm here, I always have to hang out with your buddies because you can't forget where your roots are. So I really like it. And I went shopping, I got my new top. So that was kind of fun at the Barefoot Boutique right over here. So
your top's
this
so
is
cute.
a great place to vacation.
We can see your top online. We love it. It's been voted a
my
new
top,
fan favorite.
my what? My top or
Your
my
top.
tap?
Your top.
My top. And I got a new choker. And
I
I got
like
new
your choker
sunglasses
too.
for like $8.
You're a whole new
$8
woman.
I mean, and this was actually a local boutique, by the way. And this was local from a local at the boutique. So just so you know, I try to keep it local. But I'm really sorry I can't be there today because you have step one, I had even know I only thought I went right to step two. I had no idea about step one. So I'm really looking forward to that. And the Eddie House is really close to my heart. With Lynette Eddy, when it first started, I got to meet her when she first moved here, ground one. And I was even part of the This Is Homeless hashtag. And I went out homeless and experienced that, which was incredible to do that. And everybody should try it once because you get a whole new respect for those less fortunate who are out there. And we all need to be patient and share our hearts with them as well. So I'm excited to have you guys there. And Britton, I'm so excited to have you on set because you do have the hugest heart of town. So having two nonprofits that I adore and having you there it's even better.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Yeah.
Although I will tell you, I think all of us wish we were where you were right now instead of sitting in the radio station.
Hi, we're live.
Your view is so beautiful.
Thank you. I'm sorry. What was that?
Your view is so beautiful.
I know. Here, take a good peek right here. And it's whale season, I hear. So that's going to be really cool.
Oh,
but
I'm really jealous.
Anyway, gosh, I don't want to miss. Usually I tell way more in the beginning, but I wanted to make sure to thank Karen because that was really nice to letting us just come over here and bombard their guests and do this. So it's great. So we're wrapping up for the first break. And then when we get back, we're both as a team going to introduce our amazing guests that we have on set. And we'll be right back. And it is, I wouldn't say Down the Town Tuesdays. It is City Talk with About Town Deb. And Britton Griffith is on set and I'm live in Mandalay Bay. So hang tight. We will be right back.
1 in 3 adults in America have prediabetes, but most don't know it. To let people know it can be reversed before it becomes type 2 diabetes, professional basketball player Julius Randle is doing everything in reverse.
I'm only dunking with reverse windmills. I drove the whole way to practice in reverse. I don't recommend it. This move's called the reverse shuffle. I do recommend it. And it took me months to learn how to speak in reverse, like this. Here's 10 almost for diabetes type 2 with living Ben has mom my. In other words, my mom has been living with type 2 diabetes for almost 10 years. So together, we want to say to the 84 million Americans at risk, exercise and healthy eating can help reverse prediabetes. Start by taking a simple 1-minute risk test at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Brought to you by the Ad Council and its Prediabetes Awareness Partners.
Bet he can't say that in reverse.
No word in the English language is less convincing than probably.
Are you sure we should get matching tattoos on our first date?
Sure. We'll probably stay together.
Probably? It's been 23 minutes since I ate. I can probably swim.
You should wait 30 minutes.
Okay, now tell me what to do. Cannonball! Cramp! Oh, I have a cramp.
I can probably hit the green from here.
Probably.
Can I get a mulligan?
Ready to go?
Hey, are you sure you're okay to drive?
Yeah, I'm pretty sober. Yeah, I'm probably okay. Probably okay isn't okay, especially when it comes to drinking and driving. If you're drinking, call a cab, a car, or a friend. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. A message brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
You wanted to see me?
Yes, please, have a seat. So here's the thing. When this company brought you on, we took a chance on you. You didn't have that 4-year college degree we typically look for.
Right.
But we gave you a shot anyway. And since then, you've worked incredibly hard and given it your all.
Thanks.
You've been an important asset to the team, but I don't think you can be an intern here anymore. We want to hire you.
You're serious?
Absolutely.
Find your next great employee. Introduce yourself to the grads of life. Who are they? Talent worth knowing about. Young adults of unique determination and experience. An ideal fit for your company in an entry-level position, internship, or even mentorship. They might not have every qualification you typically look for, but they're exactly who your company needs.
I won't let you down.
I know.
Don't miss out on a resource many innovative companies have already discovered. Go to gradsoflife.org to learn how to find, cultivate, and train this great pool of untapped talent. Brought to you by the Ad Council and gradsoflife.org.
This is Oliver X. Join me and the superstar Janez Carter weekday mornings from 8 to 9 on the Reno Todd Tonight Show on America Matters Media.
Are you shy and don't want to talk on the air? Text us your questions or comments to 775-237-2266. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk with About Town Deb. Normally I'm in studio in Reno, Nevada at America Matters, but today I'm in the beautiful Mandalay Bay in Oxnard, California. Thank you to my Aunt Jen if she's listening, because she's letting Jazzy, George, and I stay at their place. And we love it here. It's a little bit breezy, but I put a little sweater on, but definitely worth the trip down to SoCal and come on down here. So anyway, I want to thank everybody that is on set, especially Britton, for hosting in studio for me. I love you and I thank you.
I love you.
And before we go on to introduction to guests, I have two really cool shout outs. Since we have two amazing nonprofits on set, step one, can't wait to get to know about them. Eddie House, who I've adored since day one. There's a program right now, Noble Studios, which is a creative digital performance agency, is calling like all nonprofits from Las Vegas to Elko to Nevada, and they're calling you guys to submit an application for their community service program. Noble Deeds. Noble Studio, Noble Deeds by March 6th, which is coming up, guys. Today's the 4th. So you need to go on to their website and you need to check it out because their program is providing more than $200,000 in pro bono digital marketing services to one or more of Nevada's nonprofits. So noblestudios.com. Please check them out. You guys both are amazing nonprofits.
I love Noble Studios.
And
They're
look, you're both on set
incredible.
right now. Maybe that's an omen or
This
something.
is a good sign. This is fate. It's kismet over here.
It's kismet. And then the other thing is, I love promoting El Dorado County and Nevada. There's a 5K run at Sierra Vista, which is one of my favorite. I love all. They're all favorites. Okay, no favorites. SierraVistaWinery.com is having a fight. This is their inaugural Sierra Vista Heroes Run. It's dedicated to honoring our heroes. All this year's proceeds will go to the family of the recent fallen sheriff's officer Brian Ismail. And to the honor guard. So Brian leaves behind a wife and 3 children.
Oh, wow.
So I'm really grateful that they're taking this on, and they actually made the course. I mean, they got there with the tractor and the vineyards. So you're running through the vineyards, and they're going to have a live a rock band. They're going to have auction items, and I said I would donate, of course. They're looking for sponsors, but April 4th from 10 to 2. Beautiful wine country, 5K. I mean, I'm just going to walk it. I don't run, that's my thing.
I'm
But
with you,
I
girl.
will walk it. So that's okay. So I'm done with all my shout outs. So now we're going to go to the important stuff. So Britton, I would love you to introduce our guest in
Yeah,
the studio
let's do
now.
it. Okay, so we're going to do, if you guys are watching us on Facebook Live, if not, chime in and come and join us. Otherwise, I'm going to kick off. I'm Britton Griffith. I am here with Reno Engineering, and I'm really honored to be Debbie's co-host today. This is so exciting. Like a radio star.
Yeah.
So we're just going to go around the room. If you guys don't know everybody, we're just going to kick off and get a little intro to ourselves. And Danny, let's start with you right to the right of me.
Sure. I'm Danny Doring. I'm the executive director of Step One.
We're so happy to have you, Step One.
We're so happy
First step.
to be here.
First step.
First step, yes. I'm Lindy McQuirk, chair of the board for Step One.
Yeah, and Lindy and I just realized, small town Reno, we both grew up here and we went to high school together.
Yes.
So we're all about Kismet today. Okay, Meredith, you're up.
I'm Meredith Tanzer. I'm the director of community engagement at Eddie House.
Yay! I love you, Meredith.
Meredith,
Okay.
go ahead and hit your mic on button.
Oh, one more time, Meredith.
There we go. Oh, hi. I wondered about that. I'm Meredith Tanzer. I'm the director of community engagement at Eddie House.
Love it.
Wonderful.
Which is very important to be engaged. Just FYI. Go ahead.
My name is Ash Sobey. I'm an entrepreneur and a social media influencer, and I cannot thank you guys all enough, especially you, Deb, for having all of us here together today. It's wonderful.
She brings the best groups of people together.
Absolutely.
You do, Debbie. You do.
Well, I'm honored to be able to have all of you on set today, and I love technology and social media, so we
I
can
do
all be
too.
together. No matter what part of the world we're at, we can always bring each other together and make a difference. One connection,
One connection
one
at a
click,
time.
one connection, one smile, one hug, and we can all rock
how
us
we
all
change-
together.
that's how we change the
now,
world.
Ash, go ahead.
That's how we change the world, one step at a time, one hug at a
We
time.
do. Yes, but I do want to thank Ash to start out with, because he had said he wanted to be on the show, and I'm like, well, we're all about nonprofits, all of us who are sitting here. So he had told me about Step
true.
One, and I really had no idea what there even was. Like I said, was a Step One. So I'm really honored and happy that you shared that with us. And like I said, of course, the Eddie House. I just can't say. I'm sorry to keep saying. I just I have a passion for everybody behind it as well, and I know everybody. I can't wait to meet the people behind Step One, because I know I'll fall in love with you guys too. So, but I'm just curious how. Brent, should we start with? What do you want to start with?
Yeah,
Eddie
let's
House
start,
or Step
Danny.
One?
Let's give you a kickoff. So how did Step One get started?
Yeah.
Tell us about what it is you do here in the Reno Sparks area, and how we
Okay.
can help you, and what it is that drives you to do this.
Okay, well, it got started from a gentleman named Eli Maritano.
Okay.
Back in the 1950s, he opened his home, actually, his garage, to recovering alcoholics for a place for them to dry out. Back in the day, right?
Oh,
and then
wow.
He had a family with young daughters, and as they were becoming teenagers, his wife was like, hello, do you think you can move these guys out of the garage? And so he did, and he got a home up by UNR. And so Step One has been up by UNR since 1993.
It's fantastic.
27 years this year.
Wow, 27 years.
And so who we help are adult males with drug and alcohol and mental health disorders.
Okay, fantastic. And then Lindy, you're with the organization as well?
Correct.
What brought you to step one? What's your first step to
My
getting to
first
step one?
was Honorable Charles M. McGee. I worked for him for quite a while as his assistant, and at that time, he was on the board. And just, seeing his contributions to Step One and how he was helping and, everything that was going on back then, that was over 8 years ago or so.
Wow. Yeah.
Started to catch on to the board meetings and what Step One was doing for the community. And eventually I joined the board, and now I proudly sit as chair.
Yay.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yay.
Yeah.
Perfect. And then how did you first learn about Step One?
I think if I'm not mistaken, either Dom or Lindy was the one who actually reached out to me on Instagram, if I'm not mistaken.
Correct, yeah.
And they said, hey, we're here. You're here in town. What do you know about men who need a little bit more of a lift up? So they were kind enough to host me. I went there. They gave me a gracious tour of everything that's what's going on. And it sincerely, honestly touched me a lot, just because it's so wonderful to see a lot of amazing people come together with absolutely not a whole lot of resources, not a whole lot of other things that can help them, but they go out of their way, including Danny and Lindy, to really truly help our community members, where sometimes, how we're down on luck, and sometimes we feel like there's nobody around, especially the men. We have that attitude of, get your stuff together. What are you doing, right? So this whole house, this whole Step One concept that we can basically latch ourselves to it when we need them the most, it's really, truly heartwarming. So I'm really happy to be a part of this whole thing, and I really thank Danny and Lindy for wanting to have me as part of it as well.
Absolutely.
We were honored.
I love that. So walk me through the process. How do people find you and then get involved in the program as somebody that is dealing with addiction
looking
problems
for
to get their
services?
and get their feet back under them?
Okay, so we take walk-ins. You can just walk up, open the door, come in. It's always open. We have a resident manager 24/7.
Oh,
So
great.
there's always someone on site. And because, addiction isn't timely,
9 to 5.
right? Yeah. And so after hours, when most people are, out of their mind and want some help, we're there. And so just come in, fill out an application. That can be done online as well.
Okay.
People write to us from institutions that they're housed in, such as prison or jail.
Wow. Okay.
So we take people from everywhere.
That's fantastic.
So we have eligibility criteria, though, so we don't take everyone that wants to be there. We're more about quality rather than quantity.
Sure.
And so there are
That
some
makes sense.
exceptions. Yeah, so we can't at this time take sex offenders or multiple violent offenders.
Okay.
We're in close proximity to UNR, so
That's right.
we need to be a conscious
Yeah, that's
neighbor
okay.
in our neighborhood. And so these
The
guys,
age group of that, is it starting at 18, 16, 21, to be a part of it? What's the age of the men to
starts at
be a part?
18 and can go clear up to 65,
18.
70. There's no cap really, as long as a person is motivated and able to get around town and get a job and take care of themselves.
Yeah, never too late to get help.
Nope, never too late.
I love that.
Yeah.
So you guys, how do we find you? If somebody was interested in actually joining, how do they get to your website or your? You don't have to give us your address, I guess that can go online.
Yeah, 'cause
so you can leave your address out of it. But how do they
Right.
just contact your phone number?
Yeah,
Website?
phone number is 775-329-9830.
Okay.
Website is www.step1inc.org. And you can get to us that way. You can look us up online and see what we do and how we do it.
Okay.
If we're a good fit for you and vice versa. Our guys work really hard for everything they have. They go out and get a job. They have to fill out 10 applications in a day.
Oh, wow.
And so they're really...
That's important. Yeah, that's a big deal because, without a job, they can't move forward.
Correct.
Right.
They have to do that.
And our program
So
is...
what if they have, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that our program's unique because we are not currently charging our residents rent. But what we do instead is make a mandatory savings plan. So they have to practice paying into their savings every single week as if they were paying rent. and that teaches them that skill of putting their money aside. And then when they leave step 1, they have a chunk of cash to get an apartment, as opposed to moving into a weekly and restarting the cycle again.
See why I love step 1?
I know, it's incredible.
Yeah. Well, you know what? It's almost time for our mid-break. What is the website before we go to break?
www.step1inc.org.
Okay, and we're going to take a break, and we come back. We're going to see what's up with the Eddie House these days. They've got lots of new cool stuff going on. So hang tight. Be right back at City Talk with About Town Deb.
Low-dose chemotherapy uses only 10 to 20% of full-dose chemo, and it's known as IPT, or insulin-potentiated therapy. It's one of the safest and most innovative approaches to treating cancer effectively. IPT virtually eliminates side effects of full-dose chemo, such as nausea, hair loss, and fatigue. Could IPT be the answer you've been searching for? To find out, call Dr. Dan Royal at 702-562-1454. IPT uses low-dose chemo with insulin. Cancer cells have up to 20 times more insulin receptors and use up to 20 times more sugar than normal cells. That's why cancer cells thrive while normal cells struggle to survive. One study showed that using low-dose chemo with insulin resulted in a 10,000% increase in cancer-killing ability. Could IPT with low-dose chemo and insulin help you? Call Dr. Royal at 702-562-1454 to see if you qualify for IPT. That's 702-562-1454.
So here's the choice. Some people say the USA is finished. It's evil, a has-been, full of hate and injustice. The U.S. Constitution should be trashed and the Bill of Rights abolished. No free speech, no gun ownership. Competition and free markets are bad. We're all too stupid. For our own good, the government must own everything and know all your secrets.
Other people say that America has created the freest, richest, happiest, most generous society that has ever existed in the world. That's why millions of people are desperate to come here and escape their brutal lives in Cuba, Venezuela, North Korea, and 100 other countries.
In America, we have the right to succeed, the right to our own living, the right to have a family, the right to believe in God, the right to have our own ideas, the right to be safe and secure, and the right to be left alone.
Where do you stand? Help us save the Constitution and restore the American dream. Go to SaveMyFreedom.com.
Brought to you by the American Media Council.
Rich is just a really, really good guy. The term good egg isn't enough to describe him. He's also certified organic and free range. Rich puts the cap back on everything. The toothpaste, the olive oil, the shampoo, everything. He lets his 10-year-old nephew beat him at virtual tennis, even though he can straight up slay his 10-year-old nephew in virtual tennis. When the toilet paper is running low, Rich replaces the roll on the actual holder, not just on the back of the toilet. Rich is texting and driving. Rich, no. What are you doing, Rich? I was just telling everyone how great you are. Texting and driving makes good people look bad. Visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. A public service announcement brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Want to expand your advertising dollar? Sponsor this or any America Matters program by calling 775-827-8900, extension 2. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk with About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy. As you can see, I'm in the beautiful Channel Islands here because I'm about town. But our amazing engineer who is behind the curtain or window, Christian, can you, since I don't have all my cheat sheets, can you give the shout out for me? Pretty please?
Yeah, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain.
The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, so About Town Deb can be reached pretty much anywhere that you get your audio or video. So YouTube, Facebook, Apple, Google, Stitcher, Spotify, you name it, About Town Deb is there. And then if anybody wants to call in and chat, you can reach us at 844-790-TALK. That's 844-790-8255 from anywhere in the world.
I love that.
Awesome.
Anywhere in the world.
Thank you. I feel pretty fancy being on the Spotify and thisify and thatify. I don't know. I can't even remember because I'm over the 50 mark, so I'm not expected to remember all that. That's why I have a man behind the curtain. Anyway, thank you. I am so glad to be here, and I'm really glad to have such amazing people back in Reno on set. So, Britton, thank you so much for manning the fort, and I can't wait you and I go out on the town like this.
I want to be out on the town
and we could travel Nevada, and that would be really cool to show all the neat things and all the other nonprofits that are all around our state making a difference.
I love it.
And I'm also really excited to have two amazing nonprofits. Got to learn a little bit more about Step 1, and you hear about Step 2, and I was involved with Step 2. I don't know, like when I was at St. Albert's doing the outreach. We would collect items for the women and the kids, and it was a wonderful opportunity. But I'm really excited to have the Step 1 because with a dad, if you're a dad, the role model for our young adults, our children, are their fathers.
Yes.
So it's really nice that there's a place where when they're ready to make that change and take that first step, to have somebody like Step 1 to have the resources that are going to give them so they can be lifted up and held up, and we can all shoulder up side by side with them to help our world be a better place. So thanks to all the dads out there that are stepping up and single men. So I'm really grateful for Step 1. So thank you for being on set. And we'll be sure when we do the podcast, we always put the links. I can double check with Christian, but we always put the links to your websites and stuff as well. So when people re-listen to it, they can find you there.
Great.
So thank you for being there for that. So let's go on to Eddie House.
Let's do it.
I've known you for quite a while, and you have quite the name for yourself in town between the arts and the Eddie House, and you're always the first person. If somebody needs somebody to share something or lend a helping hand, you're there. So I'm honored to have you on set.
Thank you. And I really appreciate all that you do for our community because you give a voice to so many people. And especially for nonprofits, we don't always have the marketing budget, and I'm talking about all nonprofits, a kind of budget to spend to get your name out there. So anytime that we can all talk about what it is that we're doing, we are all collectively a tribe as nonprofits working together. So I really appreciate what you do, and thanks for having me here.
Well, I would love you to share a little bit of the story of the Eddie House. I know it, but there's probably a lot of people like, what's the Eddie House? Who's Eddie? And how did this come about? So if you can give us a little history, we'd love it.
Okay, I would love it as well. So Eddie House began, we've been trucking along for quite a while. We actually began in 2011, so it's been quite a while, founded by Lynette Eddy, who determined and found a need for young people in our community to have a place. Prior to her taking some classes, she had no idea that we had a homeless youth problem, and in hanging out downtown, she started to identify some kids that identified that they needed a place to go. So early on in the development of Eddie House, she started a group home for aged out foster care boys. She also started a workforce development program through Z-Pies, and her initial understanding was that these kids needed housing, and then they needed a job, and then they needed the supports built around them to kind of move up and into their lives. Over the years, times have sort of changed. We transitioned out of the housing program and workforce development program to become a resource center for all youth under the age of 24. In the state of Nevada, it's against the law to be an unaccompanied minor, so it creates a special sort of situation for us here in Nevada. But the last 5 or 6 years, the focus has been on that resource center and then starting to look at all the support systems that we need to build around young people in order to make them successful, or at least provide guidance for how they can be more successful. So we have been in a resource center, and then at the beginning of this year, we moved we moved up big town. We're so fancy now.
Big time.
Yeah. We moved from an 1,100 square foot beautiful little adorable Victorian to a 16,000 square foot building.
It's huge.
It's
amazing.
gigantic. We don't even know what to do with all that space. Although we filled almost every corner of the space. But what is exciting, so starting on January 30th was our first night of overnight services. So now, not only are we a resource center during the day, so from 8 to 8, if you're a young person or you're a donor, you can drop off those things between 8 and 8. And then we have an overnight shelter, which is a drop-in shelter. Those are for kids that are identifying that they need a place just night per night. They're not willing to make a ton of other promises, but they know that they need a place to sleep. So they can come in for those services. But we've also expanded to a community living program, which is pretty exciting. So that program is a 6-month program, renewable every 30 days. So kids identify some of the goals they have, aspirations, maybe what kind of career they might be looking at. Do they need to be re-engaged in school? We develop a plan for them, and then we're constantly checking up with those kids on that side of the program. Additionally, we've opened up some houses out in the community. So those
I didn't know that.
I know. You're getting it's
Big
that
news.
scoop.
Wow.
You're welcome.
Sorry.
So those houses out in the community, eventually kids will be able to move if they choose to through our whole program and want to do the things that we've identified that we'd like them to do, then they could move potentially into those transitional living houses. So it creates more of a partnership and a net for them so they can't fall all the way down to the base again. There's always somebody there to support them or keeping them on track and getting them excited about being engaged in their life, because the majority of young people move out of homelessness. So 25 for us is a super key age, because if they have moved out of homelessness by the time that they turn 25, chances are very high that they never re-enter a system. So it's in our best interest to try to help as many of these young people as possible move up and out of our system. It costs approximately $40,000 for each homeless person in the state of Nevada. So why wouldn't we want to provide the supports? And we talk about prevention all the time.
Yeah,
we should be focused on the prevention of these young people being homeless. And it is our vision, and it is completely doable, that we do not have a homeless youth problem going forward. So we will be continuing to build out programs, but that certainly is our vision, and it's going to happen.
Wow.
I love that.
That is
Impressive.
awesome.
Yeah.
Woo!
And what is the age for that? Or maybe I missed it. Is it starting at what age for the kids?
So
when they're
really we
homeless
have
and
a
they need to
wider
drop in?
age group than you would imagine. So our age group is from 12 to 24. However,
okay, that breaks my heart right now. I can't even imagine a 12, which I was out there in the street, so I did see some young children out there, but 12 years old, you think about that. What we were doing at 12 years old is not what these kids are having to deal with. So you're providing them a place to go be safe and to take a shower and to, learn, get them back in the system.
Well, that's the thing for those young people under 18. Our goal is to reconnect them with the system as quickly as possible, because they shouldn't be hanging out with all ages of people, not even some of the teenagers and young adults. That's not their best possibility model there. So we want to make sure that they get connected and that we move them on. And then additionally, if they need supports in whatever program they're in, they're welcome to come and take advantage of the services we have after 2 in the afternoon. So they can't be there during school hours. But sometimes we get kids that are unstably housed or food insecure, and they just need to come by for some resources. So maybe they need some boxers, they need some shampoo, they need stuff for their food pantry. Those are the families that are really at risk, and we want to make sure that we can at least build supports around those young people. And if we know that they go to a particular school, we can connect with their counselors and make sure that they also have access to all the information that's available.
Wow.
It's
So
great.
how can we help you with providing, items that you might need to share with the kids and the young adults?
Well, thank
Is there
you for
certain
asking
items
that.
you need?
Yes, there are items. We are really shifting every single moment into a much more intentional agency. And every single person that can think about that when they're donating to a nonprofit, I will say piles of prayers for you. So think about what you're donating. We have a wish list that you can download. And then on our website, there's an immediate needs list. So those are things that we have identified within the next couple of weeks we're either running out or we didn't consider before. But that's a good one if you're on your way to Costco and you think, oh, how can I help today right now? That's the best way to do it. We do need men's pants right now. So if you are a young gentleman, I guess, or old gentleman between size 28 to a 32, we would like your pants. So please bring those to Eddie House.
Well, Step 1 could definitely share that with you.
Yeah.
Well, and we have other things for you.
Okay, right on.
We're going to figure that out.
It's almost time for break again. So I would love you to give your website for the Eddie House. And we come back, I will finish up any last minute things you want to get out there. And I want to hear what my amazing co-host Britton's been up to.
Oh, gosh.
So your website, one more time.
We are located at www.eddiehouse.org. Please check it out. Thank you.
So it's About Town Deb with City Talk in beautiful Mandalay Bay. I'll be right back.
Hi, this is Eddie Floyd. Let me tell you about my favorite non-profit public charity, Wainema Wild Horse Sanctuary, located on the Forsyth Ranch in Hallelujah Junction area. And please go to www.wainemaranch.com. That's WYNEMA ranch.com.
Ready for a live game of Clue? For nearly 30 years, Fun Time Theater has held private and monthly dinner murder mysteries. Each night is different, and each event includes dinner and a show. You're the detective, and your job is to figure out who did what to who and why. At the end of the night, a super sleuth and not so super sleuth are awarded prizes. This is a great event for a birthday or holiday party and team-building events for your office. Visit funtimetheater.com to make your reservations and use promo code RADIO for $5 off each admission.
Take a look under your bed. Find stuff under there? What about jobs? No? Now try your basement. There's a pair of overalls that overall you're not so into anymore. A perfectly good laptop that hasn't sat in your lap in months. And even more stuff, but still no jobs? Well, you really have both. See, stuff is defined as household articles considered as a group. Sometimes this stuff is no longer needed. Wait, no longer needed? That can't be right. Because remember those jobs you were looking for? Those are really needed, and they're the stuff inside your stuff. Even inside that winter coat that moved with you to Phoenix. Our job is to unlock those jobs, and it starts when you donate your stuff to your local Goodwill. Here's how we do it. When you donate to Goodwill, we sell your stuff to provide job training for people right here in your community. So just by teaming up with Goodwill, you help create jobs. And isn't that worth parting with the leftover guitar from your 80s cover band? Goodwill. Donate stuff, create jobs. Find your nearest donation center at goodwill.org. A message from Goodwill and the Ad Council.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
This is America Matters Media on AM 1180 KCKQ, a Lotus broadcast station. The power of radio since 1967.
Unable to listen to the whole show? A recording of today's program will be available later today. Visit americamatters.us and click on the podcast link. Now back to the show.
And welcome back to City Talk with About Town Deb. As you can see, these beautiful views I have right here. Take a peek. I'm moving out of the way. Mandalay Bay, Oxnard, Ventura area. I love it. Thank you, Aunt Jen, for letting us stay at your beautiful place while we're out and about. Take a little breather before we go to Placerville. You all know I love Placerville. We always usually give a shout out to them. We're going to be in Amador as well for Behind the Cellar door.
Oh.
We're gonna hit some wineries there. We're gonna go to Dillian and what's the other one, Georgia? Verhone. That's two of the main ones. They've invited us to join them, so we're gonna do that. And then we're gonna go to Fairplay, Carson Road. Oh, Mike Owen. Tomorrow night he's having a special 20th anniversary, 20 years. I'm gonna do a little speech, little thing about all the nonprofits he's helped in Northern Nevada. So I'm excited about that. And then I don't know whether you guys remember, have ever gone. There's Passport, used to be called Passport. It was a 2-day weekend thing in El Dorado, and they've changed it to Georgia, out the Great Outdoors or the Great Out. I don't know. We're gonna look it up before it's over. So please forgive me, El Dorado wine. Sorry. Anyway, that's coming up April, I think 19th. Instead of being 2 weekends, it's 1 weekend. So I apologize. I don't have anything in front of me. I'm just going by my memory.
Your memory is pretty good.
I want to get those shout outs done. Before we go to Britain, is there anybody of our Step One or Eddie House, does anybody have an event coming up you want to give a shout out? And your websites one more time. And then Britain, I want you to tell us what you've been up to after that. So there we go.
Tell you whatever you want. All right, what event do you guys have, Step One?
We have our 27th anniversary dinner coming up this Friday on March 6th. It's at the El Dorado. Luckily and excitingly for us, it is completely sold out.
Oh my gosh, good job.
So if you are now hearing this and are disappointed because you can't make the dinner, you can always come next year. And then we have a golf tournament that we host every October as well. So we will get the word out there when
I love that.
When the weather warms up and tournament comes around.
Good.
Yeah. But fantastic dinner coming up.
Okay. Is there anything coming up with the Eddie House?
Meredith has got something.
Well, we always have a million events, but what I didn't announce is that we have a new executive director, CEO Diaz Dixon.
He's
so
so great.
I didn't mention that, so that's a pretty big event.
I
The
love
Life of
that.
Eddie
I
House.
love that.
And our website is eddiehouse, EDDYHOUSE.org.
I love that.
Okay. And I have to correct what I said. It's Passport to the Great Out There 2020, and it is April 17th. And you could go online to eldoradocounty.org, El Dorado Wine Association. You can go to Facebook and you can put in Passport to the Great Out There 2020. It is going to be incredible. You're all going to be like in different costumey things. It's going to, like, I don't know, over 40 wineries. It's amazing. So got to do that. Now, Britton, my amazing co-host in studio, tell us what you've been up to.
Debbie, you get the best party invites. I don't know what I'm doing all day. So
join me.
You're co-hosting.
Yes, co-hosting. I love your party invites. So as you guys know, does anybody know about Urban Market in the Riverwalk District downtown?
Yes.
So Dale and Denise are the owners and the founders, and I absolutely love them. So yesterday on Tuesdays, they do Tasty Tuesdays, and today is a Wine Down Wine Wednesdays.
Fun.
So you can go and check them out.
Ooh, I like that. Wine Down Wine Wednesday.
So
Sorry, I just got excited. there.
I know. I'm like in your territory now. I'm going to talk about wine. So you can get all of these local great goodies, as anywhere from meat produce, pasta, and all of these really fun things. Like she has these little cup holders for espresso that are really like ice cream, and when they melt, it's this really cool thing in an ice cream cone. So I got those for a bunch of birthday presents. Yeah. So they just have the best stuff, and they're the friendliest staff. So you kind of forget about it, though. You're downtown. It always seems like a food desert, and it's really not. We have the Great Basin Co-op. We have the Urban Market.
Right. And
they're right connected to the 3rd Street Flats on 3rd Street. And so that's the old King's Inn, if anybody's remember that big, giant, ugly K. Yep. Well, now it's the place to be. It is a beautiful stop. And then also yesterday, I had the pleasure and the honor to meet with SAVE, which is the senior group over at the associated with the city of Reno and the police department. So they have just nearly, I think, over 90 volunteers.
Wow.
And every month they sign up for different shifts, and they're the men and women that are in those boxier dark blue cars that go around the city, and they do a tremendous amount of work. I think they've saved the city over $7 million.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
Oh, awesome.
It's incredible. And so the man that we got to tour with was named Guy. And they're just the greatest group. So if you know anybody that's interested, right, we're always kind of a competitive city. We want to be the best we can be. And they're looking for new recruits. So all you have to do is to be willing to volunteer, to look them up. They're on the website. You can just go on the web. That's S.A.V.E. when you type in SAVE. But if you're over 50 years old and either you're bored or you just have a love like I do for law enforcement, that's a way to get in and get involved with the city. And it's really cool. The other thing that they do that I had no idea about is you can do a house watch. So say maybe you're even out of town frequently. So, you're like Deb, and she goes, over the hill to do these great events, like this 20th anniversary that she has tomorrow, and all these fantastic things. She can actually call Reno Direct and log on, let them know her house situation. Maybe she's got animals there or whatnot, and they will drive by and do checks on your home just to make sure.
I love it.
Yeah, so
Can
maybe
we have them on the show?
Yeah, aren't they great?
Can you get them on the show?
I would get them on the show, boss. I'll do whatever you want. So it's just this really cool thing that there's so many services that they provide, and they're really unknown about.
Wow.
But some of us are lucky enough we have neighbors that will watch us or take care of us, or we have some family that'll drive by. But sometimes you're gone a lot, or you're gone, you don't know anybody in your neighborhood, or maybe you even drive or you live a pretty far drive out of the main core of the urban McCarran Loop, and they'll go anywhere.
Wow.
So they just go and check and make sure that everything's safe and do a report back so that you can feel secure. It's also a great way, maybe you've had some incidences in your neighborhood. Sometimes we get those, peaks that are just kind of random of crime in certain neighborhoods. They'll come out and help you out. So the last thing is my favorite event of the year is the Sons and Daughters of Erin, which is their 51st St. Patrick's dinner, and I get to go with Miss Courtney Meredith and her hubby, Chris Meredith, and Tucker from Design on Edge. So I'm so excited, and her family. So both Courtney and her sister Brittany have been awarded Irish Person of the Year before, and so it's just really fun. She got me a little brooch for my birthday, and my right like scarf type, kilts type,
like
whatever
sash.
outfit sash to wear, and so I'm very excited for it. So that's what I've got going on the rest of this week. Hopefully I make it to Urban Market in time for this week, but I encourage everybody. These are some kind of today's theme was little bit known about treasures, I mean, these are nonprofits that we wish that we knew more about, and you guys are doing so much. But like Meredith said, nonprofits are just like head in the sand, working, making the change that is so important to our community. And a lot of times, like you said, there's just no way to market yourself or to let everybody know what you're doing, and we want to hear about it because we as the community would not be the same without you. So I'm so thankful I got to co-host on a special day.
Real thankful for you guys for making all this happen.
Absolutely. Yeah.
It means a lot.
Yeah, so I got to be
we love it.
I got to be with American Matters Media.
Come here, Karen. Okay, hold on a second, guys.
Here we go.
Here's Karen again. So I want to thank Karen and the whole crew and everybody in this area, especially the Lookout Bar and Grill. Thank you, my darling, for coming in. And I'm going to come back only with Karen because she's a rock star. So thank you. I just want to make sure that they hosted us today, and we're very grateful. Had a great time yesterday. We had to come back. I'll be back over and over and over and over again. And
we're all coming next time. We would all like to be involved in this road trip.
Yes, exactly.
So anyway, I just want to make sure we did a nice shout out and tell them thank you. And if you guys could each give I know we're probably running out of time. You can give your websites one more time. And just so you remember, it's About Town Deb, Debbie McCarthy. You can go on social media, Instagram, website, anything that says About Town Deb. It's me. Click on it, like it, share it. And next week, we're going to have Jay Kenny with Doughboy Donuts and Trey Ranch, I think.
I love Jay Kenny.
And your surprise didn't make it, so I promise I will make sure you get your surprise to the Eddie House in Step 1. I personally will deliver it if I can't get it to you, but I keep my word, and you'll get it. So website, Say it one more
Perfect.
time.
Let's do it. Okay, so again, I'm so thankful to be co-hosting today. My name is Britton Griffith. The best way to find me is through Instagram. So go ahead and find me. That's just Britton Griffith, Griffith.
Danny Doring, Step 1, www.step1inc.org.
Love it.
And Lindy McQuirk, your chair of Step 1.
Meredith, fellow Galena grad.
Go Grizzlies.
Go Grizzlies.
Meredith Tanzer, Eddie House, EDDYHOUSE.org.
Ash Sobey, and I hope you guys find it in your heart to pay attention to what's going on with our men in our community as well, because this is the fabric of our society and this is the fabric of our community. So if you can't make it, if you have not bought your tickets, I hope you find it in your heart to go at least to Step One's website and make a little bit of donation, and also support Eddie House as well.
Yep.
And the last thing I would say, Diaz Dixon says hello to everybody. He sends his warmest regards to everybody. who's listening.
That's great.
Hello, Diaz.
We missed him today. Yeah, that's so great. Debbie, it looks like we're closing out. Any last words from your beautiful location?
My last words are, I'm grateful. I'm blessed. I love you all. Please follow About Town Deb. And know if you need me, I'm here. Not going anywhere. My town, your town, any town. City Talk, About Town Deb. Love y'all.
Awesome. And then,
We love
Christian,
you, Deb.
where is it that we are replayed again this week?
Everywhere.
Oh, it's
Everywhere.
on Sunday, right?
So
On
that's
Sundays,
right. And on
plays on
Sundays,
there
we're
too?
played again. So thank you guys so much.
Bye, Deb. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you,
you.
Deb.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Love you guys.
Love you too.
Don't get a tan or a sunburn.
A sunburn.
Get a tan.
Good at the sunburn.
As humans, we ask ourselves all kinds of questions. But what if we were forced to ask ourselves a question every day that affected the outcome of the most basic things, the most important things in our lives? The question is, what is your sexual orientation or gender identity? And the answer is the difference between keeping your job or getting fired. The answer is the difference between staying in your